What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for August 18th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. 18-18 tie. I don't think the final score is all that important in yesterday's game. There are some big takeaways I have from the game. First, Hassan Reddick did get injured or get surgery on his injured thumb. Looks like he should be back for the first game of the season. We'll keep an eye on that. It would be a big loss if he's not. As far as the defense, yes, there was a second team. Yes, it was against Cleveland's second team. The first half, it seemed like they were very bend but don't break, especially that first drive in the first couple drives in the first quarter. I don't know if they were picking on McPherson, but he gave up a couple of big plays. However, you kind of watched the replays, and even Ross Tucker was saying he was in good position for them, and the receivers just were making good plays. And then, of course, they got the big turnover. Nakobe Dean down at the goal line to keep it scoreless. But I think McPherson's going to make the team as a special teams player. So getting some of that experience is fine. But again, it looked like he was in good position. That the backup quarterback for Cleveland, whose name is escaping me right now, seemed like he was throwing some good throws, and the receivers made some good adjustments and catches. So not too concerned with that. What I am concerned about, a couple things. The second team line, and say what you want. I mean, and the other concern was Mariota. And I think the two go hand in hand. And we'll start with the line. There were a lot of times where Mariota did not have time to really do much because I don't know if they're trying to figure it out or what the deal is. But, I mean, I trust that Jeff Stoutland's going to get them where they need to be. But we said when we did the preview of the offensive line that if you have to start 3 or 4 of those guys, you might be in trouble anyway. And the way they've been playing so far, that says that. All that being said, when Mariota did have time, he looked terrible. He didn't look very accurate. That interception was just atrocious. There was a big story yesterday on all of WIP shows. I think I might be in the same camp. I'm a little concerned about backup quarterback. Now, Tanner McKee looked good. Excuse me. In the second half, running with the threes. But again, he's running with the threes. I don't know if he's the answer for backup quarterback. It wouldn't be surprised me, though, if we see Jalen have to miss an extended period of time for McKee to get a look. And yes, I know Mariota has the experience, and they were talking about all of the records he holds in Tennessee, but man, that he just looked awful. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Didn't look confident at all, and I don't know if things are starting to snowball for him or what, but man, I'm a little concerned about that. Hopefully, Tyree Cleveland and Moro Ojamo are okay. Both were carted off the field with head injuries, but had movement in their extremities, so that's a positive. But overall, I think if the defense is going to play like that, yeah, it might give us some stomach issues and some heart problems, but I will take that. And keep in mind, it was the second team. So those guys will not necessarily be playing all together on the field like that. They'll be interspersed with the starters as well. No major injuries, so I don't think we're going to see any of the top guys playing next week against Indianapolis. They have the joint practice next week with them, so that should be the extent of the time for the guys to get some real live hitting, and then it's on to New England. One thing I wanted to mention, and if you're a WWE fan, you saw that they had some of the guys, Gunther, Grayson Waller, and Trick Williams, kind of promoting the tickets going on sale today to the public, which I don't know how many are going to be left. I couldn't get any through the pre-sale. I had to go to the StubHub, but that's a whole nother story. But I didn't realize Trick Williams actually was a receiver out of South Carolina who played or was in camp with the Eagles. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know what else is pretty cool? PhillyGoat.com. It is back to school season. Eagle season is coming up. The Phillies playoff run is kicking into high gear. Union will be back making their playoff run now that they're out of the Leagues Cup. Well, I guess they're playing for third place. But Sixers and Flyers, they have stuff for them too. But why don't you go check them out? They have a wide selection of Philly sports-based and Philly-centric apparel. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. It helps you out, helps me out, helps them out. Everyone's happy. You won't be disappointed. So go to phillygoat.com. Check them out. They're always releasing new shirts too. So definitely quality. I stand by them. I wear their stuff all the time. And I tell everybody about them even when I'm not on a podcast. So go check out phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. All right, Sixers update. Well, James Harden is back in Houston. He did do an interview, and I saw basically he's saying it's too late to repair the relationship. He mentioned possibly playing in China. This is going to get way more messy, and I think I see what the Sixers are doing by not saying something, but I think they need to make a statement because this is going to be, even if it's to say, look, we're working to resolve. I don't know, but I think it's the more they go without saying anything, and I have the same issue sometimes with some of the other teams. Like sometimes you just make a statement saying that, even if they say, look, we're acknowledging it or something, but it's going to get dicey. So we'll see what they have. But again, like I know Morey probably there was a miscommunication somewhere along the line, but this is not the first time this has happened with Harden. So I see the side of people saying, oh, well, Harden and the players and blah, blah, blah. But this is not his first time doing this. That's, I guess, my big issue with this. If he was a model player his entire career and never had any issues, like this is the fourth time he's doing something like this. And this is no way me sticking up for Daryl Morey. I'm just saying like I said before, you do dumbass things, people are going to start thinking you're dumbass. Well, this is the fourth time now you're forcing your way out of an organization. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe it's you. And again, I not taking Morey's side, I also think that Josh Harris needs to come out and say something too. And to stop taking the game balls down in D.C. But that's where we are. The schedule was released, but it's not necessarily the same as what it is when the NFL releases things. Phil's back in action tonight in D.C. Michael Lorenzen is on the mound for the first time since no-hitting the Nationals a couple weeks, or I guess it was 9 days ago. So looking forward to that one. Let's see if he can go deep into the game again when he has 9 days rest. So he should be good. If you want more Phillies coverage, check out our friends at 2008 Phils. The link is in the description wherever you are watching or listening to this. Subscription right now is 75% off for this day in Philly sports history listeners. What that gets you is access to everything in their archives, whatever they got on their site, you have access to. You get that 2008 World Series Championship banner shirt. 2008 Phils will follow your Twitter account. And you get access to giveaways and memorabilia, autographs, tickets, all those kind of things, all for $2 a month or $20 for the year. I've been telling you all summer, it's worth it. Go check them out. The link is in the description. Sticking with the Phils today, we're going to go back to 1909. And on this day, the Phillies lost both games of a doubleheader, but in game one, they lost the doubleheader to the New York Giants 14-1. The story out of this was 49-year-old second baseman Arlie Latham stole second base to become the oldest player in Major League Baseball history to steal a base, a record that still stands. I don't even know if anybody's played in the major leagues at the age of 49. But Latham was also known as the first full-time base coach. He's also responsible for them painting the coach's box on first and third base, because what he would do is he would get crazy and yell obscenities and go wild running up and down the baseline trying to distract the pitchers. And Major League Baseball was like, nah, we can't have this. So that he's partly responsible for, I shouldn't say partly, he is responsible for them putting on the coaches' boxes on the baseline. But on this day in 1909, Arlie Latham became the oldest player to ever steal a base, stealing second base against the Phillies at age 49, likely a record that will never be broken. And then he was known as the guy who would just run up and down and curse out the pitcher as the third base coach, which I think is kind of funny, but I can also see how it would be distracting. All right, going back to the Eagles. 31 questions in 31 days, and this one is a very simple one. The big question is Derek Barnett, and he is an enigma. And ever since he was drafted out of Tennessee, he broke Reggie's records down there, and everybody was comparing him to Reggie. And then he comes to the Eagles, so the comparisons continued. And then he just never really has lived up to the hype. For me, I know he always is off sides, and definitely is one of those guys that if there's an offsides call on defense after a big play, likely it was Derek Barnett who jumped off sides. Probably the lasting memory and biggest memory I always will have of him is him recovering the fumble of Brandon Graham's strip sack in the Super Bowl. But other than that, it's been disappointing. He's coming off a torn ACL this year. He restructured his contract, which is more team friendly for this year. He's only due $3.5 million with the opportunity to get another 2.2 in bonuses. But I don't know if he's going to make the team. And it's kind of one of those things where it depends on where their cap situation is. Because if they cut him, I think he's on the books for like a $12 million dead cap hit. He did play last night and had a tackle. My gut is telling me that at least for this year, he will make the team. I also would not be surprised if similar to how he did with Jalen Reagor and what he's done in the past at this point, injuries start happening if he tries to, with the cap hit that he has that is more team friendly, if he tries to trade him and unload him for some draft pick assets or something else. But I don't know. To me, the question is, can he, at this point, I mean, his label is a bust. He's legitimately, for me, the only good play in his career was recovering that fumble. So the question is, can he shed that bust label? And honestly, I don't know. I would think I would have been anxious to see what he was able to do last year before he got injured with the rotation the Eagles have. So if he's healthy and makes the team, I mean, he could, but he needs to be more disciplined. And I mean, I think when you have a team that is poised to make another Super Bowl run, you can't have guys like this that are making dumb mistakes. So we'll see. Like I said, my gut is telling me he makes the team simply because if they do cut him, that's a big dead cap hit. But it wouldn't also surprise me if Howie pulls some strings and works his magic to trade him. But Derek Barnett, coming off that injury too, is further complicated. But he did play last night, had a tackle. So I didn't. Full disclosure, I didn't watch all of the second half, so I don't think he had any offsides calls on him. But I don't know. I mean, I hope that somehow he can come out and have a career year. It'd be something that'd be a great addition, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But that's our 31 question and 31 day question of the day today is Derek Barnett. On this day back in 1909, 49-year-old Arlie Latham of the New York Giants stole second base to become the oldest player ever in Major League Baseball history to steal a base against our Phillies in a 14-1 Giants win in Game 1 of a doubleheader. The relationship between James Harden and the Sixers is broken. That's what James Harden said, and we already knew that. But go check out our friends at PhillyGoat.com. Check out 2008 Phils. Get some gear for the games coming up. Get your fix in by reading some articles. It's supposed to be a cool fall-like non-humid day, so go enjoy your Friday. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.